Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine, and today we're going to start out on the floor with some exercises. What I want you to grab is a set of dumbbells and a tube, and that's it. We're going to do some triceps with a band or a tube, and the first exercise we're going to use some dumbbells. Other than that, we're just going to do some good body weight exercises. So if you want to clear a space on your floor, maybe grab an exercise mat. I usually recommend that you do most of our floor exercises on the floor if you can, but a good sturdy kind of firm bed is also okay, especially for today's exercises. I think it would be okay to do these up on a bed if you have a hard time getting up and down off the floor. Okay, so we're going to start with a chest press, and we're going to do a bridge hold with that. So to begin with, I want to talk about the bridge first. So when you do a bridge, you want your feet flat on the floor, and then think about flattening your back to the floor and then press your hips towards the ceiling. So when you do that part of the bridge, you want to think about squeezing your glutes and keeping your heels on the ground here. So you're putting your weight through your heels, squeezing your glutes. Your goal is not necessarily to raise your hips as high as you can. So I'm going to grab my dumbbells here, and I'm going to do mine out to the side like this. We're going to do a chest press while we hold a bridge. Now, if this is just way too much for you, just do it lying down. You don't have to do the bridge. You can try it for a couple repetitions if you'd like. If it's too much and it's not working out, just hold this position and we'll do a chest press. Okay, so first we're going to flatten our back, go up into that bridge, weight through the heels, and then we're going to go up and down with our chest press. 2. And then if you're feeling any shoulder pain with this chest press, bring it in close like this and we'll push it up. Keep your elbows close to your rib cage. 4. I know that I've done more than 5 now, but I'm going to count from here. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. So the important thing is to keep breathing there. All right, now we're going to stay on your back and do some leg lifts. So same position, one leg will be on the ground, the other leg is out straight. We're going to lift and lower one leg nice and slowly. So this is a really good way to engage your quad without any knee involvement. Now I'm going to keep it in the range of motion of here in line with my knee and then not quite down to the floor. So we're keeping that quad engaged throughout the entire range of motion. Keep breathing nice and slowly. The more slowly you do it, the more you're going to feel it. This is a really good hip stabilizing exercise. If you feel any clicking in your hip, you can change the range of motion. You know, if you want to just kind of be down here, that's okay. I think I did more than 10, but that's okay. You can add a few repetitions to any of these generally. Like if you have too little weight or body weight exercise, sometimes it's easy to add repetitions. That's a good way to increase the intensity or increase the difficulty without adding weight. So adding a few repetitions, slowing it down a little bit. I would always recommend doing that before you add any weight on any exercise. This is a body weight exercise, so you got the weight that you have, but if this feels really easy to you, like I said, slow it down, do more. If absolutely necessary, you can add ankle weights to make this one harder if you're really feeling like this is just not enough. But nice and slowly, keeping it in this range of motion, not quite touching down. Remembering to think about flattening your back here to the ground. And okay, good. Now we're going to stay right here. We did those bridges, we did some leg lifts. We're going to do some double knee lifts. So if you feel like this is a really hard one, you can start by lifting one knee at a time, kind of almost little marches to begin with. If you're ready to try the double knee lift, you're going to pick up your knees towards your nose. Now notice your back is flat here. Try to maintain that flat back as you put your feet back down. Now, if you can do that and maintain that flat back while you put your feet back down, try doing it then without touching your feet back down. So remember, I'm keeping my knees bent here. I don't want you to straighten out your knees here, at least to begin with, because you want to make sure that your back is protected. That's always the most important. Breathe. Really focus on keeping that back flat. If you really just can't keep it flat, it's okay, but keep your knees bent. Really keep focusing on keeping that back flat. The most important thing is that it doesn't cause pain. So if you feel a little arch when you get here, it's common because this is really hard to keep this. This is a really strong ab move. If you can't keep that, it's okay as long as you don't have any pain. So if you start to have back pain with this, stop, start over, really focus on flattening your back. Maybe just do the one where you press and then set it back down. So we're gonna try to do 10 here total. So keep doing whichever level works for you here. If you need to put your hands here as a kind of check-in, like is my back coming up? That's okay. Keeping your hands next to your hips is another great place to keep them. And then again, if this feels really easy to you, slow it down. Breathe. And one more. Good. Okay, now we're going to sit up and we're going to turn over. We're actually going to do another core exercise. We're going to do a plank. So remember, you can start this one on a countertop. You can lower it down to a bench or a chair. You can do it from your knees. And then finally here up on your toes. So importantly, you want your hands directly beneath your shoulders. You can keep your feet just, putting the weight on your toes. Make sure you're not sagging in those hips here. That's hard on your shoulders. And then conversely, try not to have your hips up in the air like this. So you're holding it, breathe. This can be really challenging to keep breathing. Keep also in your shoulders, try not to sag into your shoulders like that. You want to keep a good, strong position through your shoulders. If you just can't hold that, you can put one knee down and then go back up. Try putting the other knee down, go back up. Okay, good. One thing you can do here, if you're having wrist pain with this, you can try it from your elbows. That's okay. You can hang on to dumbbells like this, because that way you're able to keep your wrists straight. Make sure your hands are directly beneath your shoulders. You don't want to be out here, because that's putting some, it's hard to hold in a good position, and also it's putting pressure on your shoulders, which you don't want. Okay, now we're going to stand up, do a little bit of balance. Now remember to always do these balance exercises next to something sturdy, a kitchen chair, a kitchen counter. What I want you to do is we're going to do a tandem stance. My computer wants to keep going to sleep here. Okay. We're going to do a tandem stance, and what I want you to do is we're going to switch back and forth. So standing here, and then put your foot directly behind. So staying on that one standing leg, this one in the middle here is going to stay while this one changes places. So going forward and back, slowly. So you want to get all the way behind and then all the way forward. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. One way. Now, this would be easy. Forward, back, forward, back. That's not what we're doing. We're going to do it nice and slowly. So, all the way in front, and then all the way behind. Good. Okay. One more time each way. Remember to really focus on your posture here, keeping your shoulders stacked over your hips. Trying to keep your head forward. It's easy when you do balance exercises to be staring down at your feet, but generally the reason we're doing these balance exercises is to reduce falls, right? Pure and simple. And it's a good full, it's you're strengthening your feet and your legs and your core and your all the way up, but the main goal is to reduce falls. So I'm switching feet now. I'm going to switch over to this leg, and my left foot's going to go forward and back this time. Nice and slowly. You're really challenging yourself here. So if you find this is a little bit easy, slow it down even more. The other thing you can do is you can kind of switch your weight each time. So I'm going to switch my weight back and then switch my weight forward. Like I'm going to take another step forward, but then I'm going to step backwards. So I'm transferring my weight. So you can try it both ways, just kind of keeping your weight on this standing leg and moving this one, or you can transfer your weight between each one. Really try to think. I've been looking down because I've been trying to watch my computer. Find a spot out in the distance and try to focus on that versus looking down at your feet. So really, your feet are going to do what they're going to do. Just the most important thing is having a clear place around you to do this so you're not going to trip on anything if you do lose your balance. Nice and slowly, both directions. If you really find this not challenging enough, I want you to do it, find a counter where you can hang on. And this is only if this is feeling really easy. Try closing your eyes. So, like I said, do it maybe with your hand right over the kitchen sink so that if you do start to lose your balance, you can grab on. But try it with your eyes closed, and that greatly increases the difficulty of this one. That's why I said only if you're feeling like this is not challenging enough. Try closing your eyes. Do it right. You want your hand right over something. Don't just be near something, because if you lose your balance and your hands go like this, you can hit your hand on something, and I don't want that. So put your hand right over the kitchen sink or the kitchen chair or whatever you're doing this near, and then try it. Okay, so work on each foot. If you need more challenge, work on each foot for about 30 seconds or even a minute, and try closing your eyes if you're to that point, but only if you're to that point. Okay, one more. We're gonna move over here. We're gonna end with a triceps extension. I'm going to use my tubes over here in my door. I will, just like the lat pull down on the last day, the last workout, I'm going to have you have this in a higher position. The other thing you can do is loop it around a couple times to make it shorter. I'm going to have you hold it right here. The only joint that is going to move is your elbow. So holding it right here, your elbows are stuck in your rib cage here. You're going to pull it straight down, pulling those bands or tubes, whatever you have, straight down to your hips. Breathe. Now, remember, your elbows are the only joint moving here. So I don't want your arms going forward and then back and all of this, because you start to, although it's still exercise and still movement, you start to incorporate your lats, which we want to isolate your triceps here. So this muscle right here in the back of your arm, we're just isolating that muscle. If you need to make your band lighter, you can step closer. If you need to make it harder, you can step back. And then also you can, double it up, or, use a couple different bands if you need more resistance. 8, 9, and 10. All right, good. Okay, now you can go ahead and repeat those through a couple more times. If you want to add more total cardio, you can go do 5 minutes of cardio and then come back and do this. Keep your heart rate up, keep all of those muscles moving, increase your calorie burn. If you really only have time to do this once through, see if you can fit it in again later in the day. See if you can really work on building those muscles. All right, remember, let me know if you have any questions, if you need any substitutions, or if you have any suggestions. Thanks everybody, have a wonderful day.